All right, folks, hope that you're well. I got this picture up here on my screen because, limestone, and now there's some speculation going on right now as to if this is stinking photoshopped. And by photoshopped, I don't mean a CGI like a rendering. I mean just selecting the color from this, like this could be any other color, and then changing it with the HSL panel. That's what I've done 100 times with these things. And if it is changed color, it's a good job of masking. So what you do is you mask all this paint and then you change the color. And it's not a sloppy mask at all, but there are some things that other people have pointed out that's weird. One is that there's no yellow accents here. And then same thing with the badge up here. And usually you'd see that, especially from this steep of an angle, for sure. I can say that, yeah, when I have changed colors of the paint in Photoshop, you would need to deselect this whole thing so that when you do change the HSL, that stays normal, like it should be. And so if it is Photoshop, that's one thing that I'm wondering there is if they didn't deselect, like unmask this, and then the same thing over here. You really start looking at edges, and there's a couple edges that you start kind of seeing some weird stuff and wondering. Right up here, this almost looks like forest green. So could you start with forest green and then dial back the saturation and up the luminance and all that? Sure. I mean, but guys, you can really do that from just about any color. This is weird right here. But other than that, I'm not saying that it is photoshopped. I'm just saying that I keep looking for edges that look weird, and sometimes you see something. This edge over here is really weird because it's completely sharp. It's not pixelated. So something happened there with a little post. But I'm not saying that was because of the color change. The other thing that I pay attention to is like how the dust looks. So this dirt here, some of it's gotten up to the paint here, but you can see it's just like a different color. Of course, it's going to be a little bit of a different color on the paint versus the part down here, but you can see it looks different to me, and that is tough if you're going to change the HSL of the paint. It can do some wonky things to that kind of stuff, and it's like, and so sometimes you'll go back in there and, choose to, and it's all compromise, like, yeah, so I'm not saying that it is photoshopped. I'm saying that like it definitely could be. So here's some of that dust up over here too. And what would it look like? I just feel like it's brown, and dust can still be brown on top of a paint color. And it just looks a little bit more gray here instead of brown. If you go to the El Cap photo, which let me see if I can pull the El Cap photo. I'm just going to move this. You can see how it's still brown on there. It's not just gray. So I don't know. I mean, it's interesting. It's some speculation for sure. It definitely, obviously, doesn't look like Nardo gray like we kind of thought that it was, at least not in this picture. It's the other thing. This is in the sunlight. And so I would expect it to be lighter and brighter in the sunlight. We shall see. I just thought I'd share that much.